Many people may remember when the old Washington County Juvenile Detention Center used to house wayward youth. Built back in 1993, the old Detention and Crisis Center has now been remodeled to fully house services supporting Washington County's court system. With a special ribbon-cutting ceremony, county commissioners gave thanks to those involved.
And it's not just any ribbon cutting today. This is really kind of a ribbon cutting of hope for me. As these people find themselves in what I call the claws of addiction.
So instead of warehousing people, we're now treating them like individuals, and we're trying to give them treatment instead of just sticking them someplace and then watching the cycle repeat.
I can tell you it's working. Representative Snow, his compassion and his understanding, knowing that treatment is the best way to attend to the family unit, is remarkable.
Charmaine demonstrated her leadership then, and she's demonstrated her leadership every single day since then in bringing this project to fruition.
These dedicated employees were given credit for helping to transform lives as well.
And their passion and their devotion is something that I look up to tremendously. So I'm very grateful for your examples.
We really get to see people at their worst, and we get to carry them to their best, and that is the payoff.
With the Juvenile Detention Center moving to Hurricane, ownership of this building was transferred to the county by the state for a mere $20. The entire process and acquisition took about 3 years to complete.
We had to redo bathrooms, they had to redo walls, they had to redo all the electrical and data, the lighting, the keys need to be redone and rekeyed. Flooring replaced, cabinets, windows.
Contractors who did the work were all recognized for their efforts. A tour of the newly remodeled building shows how detention holding cells were transformed into offices, and many are now used for the 20 staff who work here.
One of the biggest conversions was the detention side. We were jackhammering out those cement beds with the rebar in it, and they had padded rooms, they had, a control unit, it was a lockdown unit, so everything was on an electrical system that was 25 years old. So they just had to rip the whole thing out.
The building now houses 5 programs, all tied to the courts: pretrial supervision, pretrial clinical services, and probation case management. And one section of the building allows the Washington County Sheriff's Office to run its drug testing center using state-of-the-art equipment.
We have like your opiates, your THC, cocaine, amphetamines, benzodiazepines, Suboxone, any of these things. And a lot of times we're not always looking for the abstinence of the controlled substance use, but sometimes now with medically assisted treatment, we're confirming the fact that they are taking what they're supposed to be taking.
Representative Lowry Snow took a tour of the remodeled facility and even tested out the state-of-the-art face recognition equipment that will soon be used.
One of the new technology pieces that we've actually implemented into the program here is facial recognition. And what that's done is just added a piece to the puzzle that's allowed us to streamline the amount of clients that are coming to this building. Logistically speaking, tripling or quadrupling the amount of people who come through our testing facility has its concerns. So by having facial recognition, already knowing what tests or substances they need to be tested for and have that process automated is definitely taking some of the time out of the equation.
The county attorney's office is hoping the new system will help with recidivism in our courts and jail system.
We've recently implemented a brand new bail reform in the state of Utah, where we're trying to incarcerate less and help people get services faster. And in Washington County, probably better than anywhere else in the state. People are getting arrested, they're almost immediately having a hearing with the judge, and the judge is saying as a condition of bail, you don't need to stay in jail, but you've got to get into court support services, get into the pretrial services, and start getting the help that you need.
No one should come in here, and no one will have to come in here feeling like they're not being treated fairly and well. And so I congratulate the leaders of Washington County for helping to fulfill, I think, our mission for juvenile justice reform as well as adult justice reform.
I'm very grateful and I'm very blessed that we have a community that cares, and we have individuals in need, and we do our best to meet that need.
With appropriate monitoring and treatment plans, Gull believes they are making a difference in people's lives.
Once they simply have an opportunity to change, and it's usually through the help of someone else, that they don't have to continue to live that mistake, and that they have the ability to change and inspire others.
In Washington County, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.